Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has acknowledged his troops have launched an incursion into the Russian border region of Kursk. Moscow has declared a state of emergency and is rushing to reinforce the area. Hundreds of Ukrainian troops poured over the border on Tuesday, the biggest Ukrainian advance into Russia during the war so far.
Ukrainian tanks roll into Russia, encountering little resistance. The Ukrainian forces are keeping tight-lipped about the extent of their operation, but they say they've taken control of several towns in Russia's Kursk region and assets including this facility belonging to the Kremlin-controlled gas producer Gazprom.
Slava Ukraini!
Ukraine also says it has struck an airbase 300 kilometers from the border, destroying Russian stockpiles of deadly guided bombs and missiles. President Zelenskyy praised his military's actions.
Ukraine is proving that it truly knows how to restore justice and is providing the exact pressure needed, pressure on the aggressor.
But Russian President Vladimir Putin called the Ukrainian action a large-scale provocation. He convened an emergency meeting of his Security Council and vowed to stop the incursion.
On today's agenda is a very important question regarding specific aspects of the fight against terrorism.
But while Russia may be struggling to stop the Ukrainian advance, it has shown it is still capable of devastation elsewhere. Rescuers are still searching for victims of Friday's bomb attack on a supermarket in the eastern city of Konstantinivka. And in the face of increased Russian attacks, Ukrainian authorities have ordered the evacuation of numerous communities in the Sumy region, across the border from Kursk.
I spoke earlier to military expert Frank Ledwidge and asked him whether he was surprised to hear Zelenskyy's acknowledgement of this incursion coming now.
No, not really. I think it was a smart move not to acknowledge this until now. The mistakes they've made before, particularly concerning other major military operations, specifically the counteroffensive last year, they backfired. There was a very poor expectation management. It's very clear now there is a large incursion into Russia. It's not just a few hundred troops. I would assess here we're talking elements at least of 4 brigades. So we're looking way north of 5, maybe 10,000 troops. And the situation is stabilizing now, which may also impact on Zelensky's announcement. Otherwise, they've not been driven back very quickly. So no, it's officially announced, and there we are.
By stabilizing, what exactly do you mean there? That Ukrainian troops are digging in to where they've pushed toward?
Yes, partly, Claire, exactly that. They've also, I think, stopped on a major scale expanding out to establish presence in areas outside their defended territory. So you have to understand that there is, sorry, you don't have to, but there is a distinction between areas where you have a presence and areas that are defended or where you have control. So I suspect the Ukrainians, as you say now, are beginning to dig in into defensive positions, awaiting the inevitable counterattack, which I think will come over the next week or 2 weeks. It'll take a while. Of course, they still suffer from huge disadvantages in that now defensive role. Same disadvantages as elsewhere, except now they won't have prepared positions.
That was military expert Frank Ledwidge speaking to me earlier.